His ghost stirred, threatening his equilibrium. "No here. No in front of Sophia." She stepped toward him again, too close, the green flecks in her eyes brimming with an emotion that made his jaw clench. "I'm sorry for whatever put that pain in your eyes. And," she gestured toward his left leg, "hurt you physically as well." He stared down at her, his lungs so tight he could barely draw in enough air. Sweat dotted his forehead. Fuck. Maybe he was claustrophobic after all, because he needed out of this bloody box before he did something stupid, like kiss Sophia. He looked at his watch. 20 minutes? That was all. It felt like they'd been stuck in the lift for hours. He eyed the ceiling. Chances were there was an emergency hatch above the panels, but it was likely bolted from the outside. Maybe he could get an idea of where the lift had stopped. He moved to the doors, got a finger hold on each panel where they met, and tried to pry the doors open, grunting as his shoulder and back muscles screamed from the strain. "What are you doing?" Sophia's voice rose in pitch. "We need to wait for the elevator repairman, or the fire department. I read that the safest thing to do when stuck in an elevator is to do nothing." "Shite piece of crap lift." He gave up his efforts, his breath ragged from exertion. He should have known modern buildings, such as this one, would have lifts equipped with door resistors designed to keep people from doing precisely what he'd tried to do. "I thought I'd see where we were." He wasn't good at waiting for someone else to rescue him. He was the one who usually did the rescuing. Without warning, his ghosts took control. "Get down!" he screamed to be heard over the din. "Get down!" The female hostage's head rose, eyes peeled back in terror as she searched the darkness in the direction of his voice. Relief poured over her face. She stretched out her hand. He took a palm off his rifle and reached out. The tips of his glove had barely brushed her fingers when her body jerked, and she crumpled to the ground like a rag doll. "Lachlan?" He blinked and refocused. Soft hands cradled his jaw. Wide, hazel eyes stared up at him. He drank in Sophia's face and breathed in her scent to ground himself. His hands lifted to cover hers, pull them off, but instead, he held her to him until his ragged breathing slowed. I'm sorry. He wasn't sure who he was apologizing to. Sophia or Catherine, the woman he hadn't been able to save.